Hello everyone, I'm Charlotte and here is episode 2 of working on my character. We skipped a few pieces in order to show some progress and I hope that's okay. However, I would like to add that the pieces from the previous video are way older than the pieces on screen now. So if you find a drastic change, know that there are months of work that is not shown. This note is for anyone who's just starting a skill and don't see immediate progress. And so in case you're intimidated by the amount of change in both the videos, know that there are a lot of pieces that I haven't shown. Anyways, so the piece on screen is basically my first attempt at drawing a panel from the comic series. I have a list of the panels sketched out in mini versions after storyboarding, so I thought I'll digitalize them. However, I think I wasn't really confident with my style at this point. So you can see the hesitancy of wanting the lines to be smooth, of wanting the lighting to be perfect. And because of that, I kind of didn't feel satisfied with this piece, but it's there. Anyways, now on screen, if you see, this was Charlotte's final design in terms of color. Before this piece, there was a lot of exploration going on how her color should be and her hair length and all of that. And I think by this time, it was representative. The current piece that you see on screen is a bit more representative of Charlotte than the previous ones that we saw in the previous video. So a few sketches of her were done. And this piece on screen, whoa, this is a favorite. So by this time, a little bit of my style is being shown on camera, right? But it's not there throughout the following pieces because by this time I was just learning color and I was more intentional with exploring color, and that is shown. The confidence of color is shown in this piece and it's definitely beautiful. However, I was a bit sad that in the course of the following pieces, this style is not replicated there. If you scroll down far enough on my Instagram, you will see the pieces which I'm talking about. But I think this one was beautiful because it shows the story of Charlotte Pourquoi in that mild glimpse of her wanting to explore the new story that is ahead of her and all the changes that happen. And so it was representational of the novel as well. And it was something I was very satisfied about. The current one that you see, I did not have a definite reference, okay? And so it was just me drawing and figuring out shape language and figuring out colors. But as I mentioned earlier, although this one was drawn after the previous piece, I wasn't very confident with where the color should go, especially in the clothing. It was kind of blurry and so it's not that great, but pieces like these are what remind me that we need to experiment in order to get better at a skill. And I don't have any regrets. I do think it's beautiful in the long run in a retrospective tone, but I remember the point when I was drawing this, I was not happy at all. I had to convince myself that it was fine and that my art style wasn't a total failure. Again, it's an emphasis on the fact that when you're a creative or when you're working out on a skill, you won't be good at it, and that's all right. And it's something that I had to keep relearning over the course of figuring out my art style and figuring out what storytelling means to me. So yeah, this next one was another very saturated piece which I love in the long run, and I think I remember posting a caption of this piece saying that although I didn't understand if the yellows would make sense, it did in the end, and I'm glad that I worked on experimenting. So that's what the caption was, something like that. But again, it's a huge reminder to just keep going with a skill, even if you're not amazing at it, because the only way you will get amazing at a skill is if you keep going and if you are intentional to refining and sharpening that skill. And yeah, it does become clumsy. My art style becomes extremely clumsy, but it gave a sense of confidence. And because of pieces like these, over time now I can say that I have a definitive art style because I know what worked and what did not. And yes, it is a method of trial and error. And to put these pieces out on the internet with mostly just my friends and family watching that is even more scary because I know these people in real life, and so their judgment is there even if they don't voice it. And it is hard to be immune to that, but it was definitely a learning curve to understand that it's okay to be cringe. It's okay to not be perfect at a skill when you're starting out, because embarrassment is the cost of entry if you want to master a skill. And it's a lifelong learning. And over the course of the years that I started digital art, this is a valuable piece of information that I learned. Anyways, we're coming to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!